Welcome to Real Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Pastor Ed King. I'm here once again for our third program with Minister Tank King from Dayspring Ministry Christian Center and Brother Milagro Spencer from Dayspring Ministry Christian Center. Ladies and gentlemen, over the last several weeks, the reality of just talking about life and what happens with the hearts of our kids have been amazing to me. And I believe all three of us, even though we come from different backgrounds, we all have the same heart and the same love for our youth for today. We want to see them succeed. We want to see them thrive. We want them to know and understand what it is to have a relationship with Jesus. We also want them to know and understand what it is to be successful in life. But I think about it, I am way over the hill when it comes to these two young men, but there are things that are happening with our youth today that I feel like, I love Milagro's heart when he said a couple months ago, the importance of bringing parents together and just educating them on, I don't know, maybe it's signs that you should watch for, things that you should talk about, just really getting back and re-engaging in the lives of the kids. Before I ask him this question, and this is by no means a put down to any, matter of fact, I won't even refer to the name.
Man, just keep it real. This is called Real Talk.
It's real talk. This started a couple years ago. I went to a high school for a high school basketball game. My grandson was playing in the high school basketball game. And I noticed when I got to the game, now this is a varsity game, and there was no parents in the stands. And matter of fact, the opposing team, they have more fans than the home team. I said, okay, maybe there's, I didn't understand that. So came back to a couple more games, and there was a pattern. There was the home team. There was no faculty. There was no parents. There was the ball players and a few other kids in the stand. The visiting team, once again, their side was almost jam-packed. And so I went to a high school varsity football game. Now, everybody goes to the high school varsity football games. We went to the game, and I told my wife, I think I counted 12 people in the stands for the home team at a varsity football game. The opposing team, their side of the crowd was full, and I thought this to myself: the kids that are playing, what value does it say to them that they're playing high school sports and nobody's coming to the game? The Hope Center was started. Ty Shinzo said he read the Omaha World Herald at the time. Robert Faulkner had threatened to step down as football coach because nobody was coming to the games, right? Parents, if you're watching this podcast today, I want you to really hear, some of this stuff may be hard for you to hear, but I want you to really hear why it's so necessary and so important that you stay engaged in the life of your kids and what's really going on in our schools and with our kids that are on the street today. So we closed off last week talking about the guns in the school, and all of us, we're being honest with y'all, we all have a checkered past of things that we've done that we're not proud of. But what I love about Milagro is going to tell us exactly how it is. The sugar is not with him. He left the sugar at home. He's going to tell us exactly.
I don't got no sugar in my tank. Man, you got to do something else.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So you troubled me when you said, and you called one of our former football players, Dason, great kid, Dason.
He really is.
Yeah.
He rich too.
Yeah. Dason, if you're watching, doing very well for yourself.
Yeah.
Tell us about the guns in the school, how normal it was, and why that is.
It wasn't only then, it still is now. Like, you really think them kids, man, some of them kids, it was exciting, but I really think you got to pay attention to the details. I know for a fact, music brainwashes your mind. So you have to listen, pay attention to what your kids listening to.
That's so true.
And it's like, and I'm not even saying to stop them, but you got to know who your kid is. You could raise somebody for 20 years and not know who they are.
That's tough.
And even parents, like some of us don't know who our parents is. So everybody is a stranger in the house. And it's so common because the days of us eating at the table together is gone. Just cook the meal. He eat in the room. She eat over here. We could all be in the same room and never have a conversation. 4 people like this.
Everybody with their phone.
Yeah.
TV going on, everybody on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. So it's like we don't have community. And even as far back as you go, the games. Some of us, me personally, I didn't like my parents coming to the games, even though they never did anyway. But I felt more free when they wasn't there. Because
why is that?
you know, when you competitive, like your kids, you think your kids want you sitting in the room when they playing the game? You gonna slip up and say a word that you can't, you know. So you just feel freer, and then, and some of the parents, it's not even a knock against them. It's life. They have to work 12 hours to pay them bills. They may want to be at the game, but they think, even as a father, like I'm not at all my son's stuff, but I'm thinking that I'm showing him something that in life you got to make sacrifices. And I tell him all the time, I don't want you to be me, and I don't want you to have to work as hard as me. But right now, you got to do the hard things. I did what was easy in the beginning, so now I got to do the hard stuff on the back end. So if you do the hard stuff now, you get the easy on the back end. Now you the one get to be in Hawaii with your family instead of working 12 hours on Thanksgiving.
I had a pastor friend of mine recently told me that his kids confronted him for not coming to their games. You know, they felt like that he, and their version of it was that he spent so much time at the church that he didn't never come to any of the things that they had. And his version of it was, he said that he was the only one working, and he had to work to make sure that they were provided for, taken care of, and all of that. And he said he felt blindsided by his kids, that they felt that way. And I had to explain to him, they just wanted you to share in their special, what was important to them. Go ahead.
Where he messed up is where I don't want to mess. He should have been vocal with his kids as a young. Hey, y'all want this, y'all want that, and this is what it takes. Daddy want to be there. You got to let them know that you want to be there. But the way life set up, hit that switch. It worked. Well, mom ain't doing it.
Yeah.
Mom ain't doing it. And we all just a vessel. We human. So this the position God put me in right now, to provide for y'all. And it's what it takes. Mom providing too in another way, but she got to be y'all support right now. Y'all come to me whenever even if I'm asleep. If you got something to say, tap me. But we got to be vocal. You got to listen to your kids.
Yeah.
You got to talk to your kids.
I encourage parents to be nosy. You paying the bills in the house. All this getting ducked off in your room. You've been in there for 2 weeks. Don't nobody know what you've been in there doing. It's like basically, we got murderers. We got people that got some sexual issues, and we got kids that are anxious and suicidal. Like, man, that suicide rate is so high. These kids are so anxious. Sadly, we got kids cutting themselves. They got a lot of stuff going on, and it's going on right under the parents' nose because we don't care enough to engage. And it's like basically, even in the midst of us being busy and us working our jobs and us taking care of our business, I always say my first ministry is at home. Before I get to any kid outside of my house, I got to care about the four in my house first before I go help somebody outside. And I was even convicted. Wednesday is a long day for me. Bible study on campus, Bible study Wednesday night at the church. And my son is in the 6th grade now, so he comes with me. So by the end of the night, after I took the last kid home, like, I'm tired. It's almost 10 o'clock. Like, I don't feel like engaging. I didn't pour out everything all day. And then I'm thinking, it's like, and I'm listening to my cowboy radio on my way home. That's my way of kind of zoning out at the end of the day. And the Lord said, turn that radio off. Your son is sitting right here. You done poured out to all them other kids today. Pour into your own son. I turned the thing off. Hey, man, how you been doing? What's been going on with you? What's been good? Okay, what's been bad? And let him talk through that. And it's like, I got to care enough about the ones in my house first. So parents, go up in that room. You paying for it. Look up under that bed. Hey, let me see what basically you paying $1,000 phone. You paying the phone bill, but you let your kid be a creep on that phone. You refuse just to see, hey, what you been looking at? Like, man, there's some weird stuff out here. And if we ain't careful, if we not willing to take that extra step, then you don't know what your kid's in. A lot of times, your kid could be a murderer. You don't even know nothing about it. Like you said, it's like we got to be mindful of, man, how can I care enough about you to get in your stuff a little bit.
See, okay, I hear that. I like that. Back over to you.
All right.
How are kids carrying guns to school and the parents not know?
You know what?
Yeah, I want to hear that.
Because parents make it hard to be honest with them. So say I'm 13 and I go have unprotected sex and I get a STD. If you want to come at me with the Bible all the time and you want to ridicule me with everything I do, instead of just having a conversation. Hey man, now look what happened. Now I don't want to be that parent. I want to look what happened. Man, you should have came to me. I would got you some condoms. Because sometimes you're too embarrassed to buy a condom. Even the parent. Some people are just too embarrassed to be real. Things gonna happen in life, but it's hard to be. What if I'm curious of smoking weed and all you do is preach to me or let me down or call me a father? How can I come to you and say, hey man, Dad, my friends had some weed today and they asked me that I ain't hit it this time, but I was curious. So most parents you can't come to and say that.
Yeah.
Weed is different. When I say think it's different, I don't condone smoking weed. You probably shouldn't smoke weed. But to your point about the young man that we knew in our Bible club group, they laced his weed and they killed him.
Yeah.
And that whole discussion of what drugs do to you. Okay, that's one thing. But a gun, to me, that's a different conversation.
Okay. So we come up in this, man, gangs is prevalent in our communities, man. It's not one neighborhood in North Omaha that's not gang infested. And at a certain age, I say about 12, 13, peer pressure is more pressure than what your parents could do. You don't even care about what your parents could do no more. You don't care about no whoopings. You honestly stronger than everybody in the house. But I got to deal with these people every day. The most scariest place I've ever went to in my life is public school. Wow. Everything you got to deal with, all man, that's the devil's playground. From whether it's getting sexually active, whether it's getting gang involved. Most of these dudes don't even live in no hood. But guess what? They go to school with these dudes. So they could get put on. They want to hang with these dudes here. Now they coming from a good home. You provide, you busting your butt. You're taking them to Bible studies. But they hear about all this fun. Because it's fun getting shot at. Till you get shot.
I'm going to say,
it's fun.
I've been
If you
around shooting,
escape it.
nothing has been fun about it for me.
Just like prison, whatever, incarceration. Man, once you done did it once, man, life, we only scared of one thing. And that's what we ain't experienced. Once we experience something, don't really care.
That's heavy.
And for me, you speaking to the ministry guys call me to, I don't cut no corners. I don't do no lying. When I'm talking to a kid, I'm telling you everything. It's like I'm not holding it back from him because they doing all this stuff anyway. So like basically, if I'm not willing to be honest with you, hey, go ahead and do that. But this is the end if you do that. It's like at the end of the day, what do you want your future to be? It's like, do you want to have all your money going because you got to pay child support because your body count is at 15? It's like if that's what you want, then this is how you get there. Hey, there's a better way though if you want to do something different. Hey, gangbang. I know it's prevalent. I know it's going around. I know it's exciting to be a part of. Man, the most of the gangbangers I know, they either dead or they in jail. That's where it ends for them. If that's what you want, it's like we can't, or unhappy. Your life is just like, man. I feel like kids respond to the truth. Like we basically parents, we scared to talk about a lot of stuff. Even as leaders, we scared to talk about stuff. Some of the stuff that I've said in the Bible, say the kids' eyes give you like, did he just say that? Yes, I did. Because I ain't got time to. Satan is not wasting his time with exposing you. You said it's a devil's playground. All that stuff they've been exposed to at the public school. So why would I get in Bible say I'm gonna tiptoe around? Say, no, a girl came to me. She was getting kicked out. I said, well, why are you getting kicked out? Well, I got in a fight with this girl because she mad about what I said about her boyfriend. I said, what you say about the boyfriend? Well, I said he nasty because he got 30 bodies. I said, come on, 30 bodies. She said, Mr. King, he got a timestamp in his phone with a picture of all 30 girls he slept with. 30. So when I'm talking in Bible, so you think I'm telling you about it's just walk through it. No, man, if this dude had 30 bodies, he got some stuff going on that ain't right. How can I talk him through that? He ain't going to have no money. His head going to be messed up. And how many fatherless kids are going to be birthed because he chooses to do his thing in that way? So it's like, it's for us as adults. And in the past, I've gotten in trouble with this. People don't like this. Man, I got to tell the kids the truth. I love you too much to lie to you. Now, what I've freed myself from, I can't choose for you. Right. What you choose to do is going to be on you. But you will not leave any class or any conversation with me where he wasn't 100% real with me. He didn't tell me the whole thing. I'm going to tell you the whole thing, and then what you do with it, that's going to be on you.
It comes down to two things. It comes down to forgiveness and, dang, I forgot the other one. But I say forgiveness because everybody I know who hate their dad, or hate their mom, they become that person.
Wow.
And in a lot of cases, they become a worse parent than the person they hate. So if you don't forgive your parent and
That's
you
good.
got to attack them with what they hate, say, hey, bro, you got 30 bodies, cool. But how many kids your dad got? Oh, he got 7, but he wasn't there for you. You want to be him?
That's exactly.
You want to be him?
Exactly. That's exactly it.
You could get 50 bodies.
Yeah.
Your daddy probably had it too, but you your daddy. Go, as a matter of fact, I want you to call your dad and tell you love him. Because you just like him.
Right. Ooh, that's cold. But that's true.
You
though.
saying everything that
That's
you hate about
100%
him,
true.
you become that.
Hey, everybody.
What I said on the other show, it's like you gonna repeat the same stuff. You don't start doing something different.
You're going to do it worse.
Stop being selfish. You had pain from your dad not being there for you.
gotta
If you
forgive.
make the same decision that he made, you're gonna put your kids in the same situation where, I mean, I know, kid, you done cried yourself to sleep at night because, I mean, you wish your family was together. But because you don't allow God to help you make some different decisions, I'm gonna put my kid through the same thing. That's selfish. Somebody got to stop the cycle. And if we ain't giving free game about what we should and shouldn't be doing, then we'll start duplicating the same stuff over and over again.
That's why at the church I told you this last week, and I know it's crazy, and I told you I don't want to be black. If I had the choice, I wouldn't be black. We have so
The
many.
views of this show does
Man,
not necessarily
We
express
have
for all of
so
us, but go ahead.
many generational
know
curses.
curses,
We
yeah.
have to break it. It's so hard. So it's like even one little thing, like, all right, you make even in 2024, it's a black kid somewhere going to be the first father who stayed in the house with his kids. It's we still got kids who going to be the first one to graduate high school in their family.
Yeah.
When you and I know your heart. When you say you don't want to be black, you're saying the pressures of being a black man sometimes can be too overwhelming for
Yeah.
an individual. I get it. Okay. I get
Like,
it.
but man, I'm exhausted with just hearing about Tank Day, and I wonder.
Yeah, I mean, seriously.
And I watched him coming up, man. And I'm telling you, if I was in your shoes, I would hate this man. And you, same way you talking about your pastor friend, I would wonder, man, how you got so much time for other people, kids? And that's why I'm saying in the community, like, man, it's great what you doing. That stuff exhausted, and we would look
Yeah.
at it as a scam, but it's like certain people I understand. I understand why they don't care about our community. Why would I care more than y'all?
That's true.
Why would I care more than y'all? And it's to the point that I want to come at the parents. I'm tired of coming at the kids. But if your son is on the news and you got to bury him next week,
Yeah.
you didn't care. So don't come to me. Don't come to my church. Don't ask me to cook. Don't ask none of that. You didn't care when we had a chance to care.
When I was
What
talking
do you
last,
mean? Okay.
when I was talking last
Well, you
week
go ahead, both of you.
to
Go ahead.
my friend that's a substitute teacher that's trying to get in the Youth for Christ, and the basketball coach, they was both talking about the parents. They said we go pick kids up and there's 4 or 5 cars in the driveway. He said the parents don't come and support nothing that's going on, and it's like they cuss the teacher out. The parent come up and cuss the teacher out instead of holding their kid accountable. The basketball coach said, I can't get the fellas to do nothing because they're not held accountable at home. So when I want them to run the extra lap or take some extra shots, well, they used to just being able to get out the way and not have to have no accountability at home, and then transfer down to everything else. So parents got to take responsibility too.
And that's what I was gonna say to you earlier. I'm gonna say you're up against their parents.
Yeah.
You could talk all this and like I wasn't raised. And the crazy part is, I knew they was praying people. I knew they, but they did it behind closed doors. So we didn't know nothing about that.
Yeah.
We had to go seek that stuff our own. Like they
Yeah.
just didn't pre. They just assumed we knew right from wrong and we'll do it.
Yeah.
But that didn't involve God.
Our time is almost up again. You mentioned music in the last program. Explain to me what you mean about our kids are
All right,
product of the
so
music that they
if-
listen to.
So why wouldn't I get 30 bodies? Even listening to the females.
Yeah.
All they preaching
The
into
raw-
me is hit
the
that.
the raw dog queen. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
And they telling
That's Raw Dog Queen.
Sexy Red. It's like, man, she glorifies her STDs. She talks about how much sex she having. So if I'm a young girl and I'm listening to Sexy Red, then of course. If I'm listening to Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, it's like girls being pure. Like it used to be just fellas. Now the girls, man, they just
They roller.
They just as ridiculous as the fellas is because what's being taught to them, and the mama listening to it. Grandma 25. You know what I mean? What you
And
mean?
and
They passing that stuff down.
they doing TikToks together.
Yeah, so it's like, come on, man, we gotta start turning some of that
Where,
stuff.
where the Bible says faith comes by hearing and
That's
hearing
real.
by the word of God. That's true in the negative sense too.
That's true.
You get faith,
Faith for
for
what you hear.
what you
100%.
hear.
Yeah.
So you hearing that, downloading it into your spirit is coming out of your life.
Yeah.
And so you blame, okay. But when you talk to any of the kids, you can't convince them that their music is bad.
Well, it never start with the kids. You can't convince the parents that it's bad.
That's an issue.
Yeah.
And I've had kids tell me over the years, it's like, Tank, I'm trying to do better at how I listen to music, but when I get back in my car, the stuff my dad is playing, the stuff my mom is playing. Wow. I've had kids that actually told me they had to put headphones in to listen to Christian music in their car because of what their parents are listening to.
Wow.
And
So
I
it's
was
like-
thinking even when you said it took to the end of the season for that boy to come.
Yeah.
But do you know how many of them people went home and actually wanted to come and their parents, I ain't finna take you to do that. I'm gotta go to sleep.
That's true.
They
Yeah.
want, I bet you at least a handful of them wanted to come. Just never had a ride.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man.
In closing, what's the hope for our kids?
You know what mine is. It's Jesus. It's like that. I mean, and I know it's not popular, but it's not just saying Jesus, it's living Jesus. But the Bible talks about us being the hands and feet of Jesus. Man, I'm going where people are. To the best of my ability, I'm trying to show the love of Jesus to you. Why do I even care about you? You ain't my kid. You ain't got my blood. Man, but because God's given me a heart for people, I told you in the other one, I was so selfish. I didn't care about nobody outside myself. When God did surgery on my heart, man, I care about people that's not even connected to me. That ain't my blood, but I care about your life being better. Only Jesus can make me not be selfish and care about somebody else. And to the best of my ability, I don't get it right all the time. I'm trying my best to live that out. So that's me.
My only food for thought is people really need to think about this. But for the one that lives in hopelessness, there is no consequence.
It's tough.
To the one that lives in hopelessness, consequences mean nothing. So if the problem is hopelessness, not
Love.
love.
Love. But you gotta hear. You gotta hear, and God is love. And like I say, I would say, most people in the inner community city, we say we Christian by default. That's why Christians get such a bad rep. And then the ones that's really on that path and walking and talking, I'll be honest, they too judgmental. They're not welcoming. Even though they are with their heart, but their words is kind of harsh. People scared of the truth.
That's true.
People scared of the truth.
That's so true.
Like, even me, sometimes I feel like a hypocrite around y'all. Because I still have this mentality. And I may do something that could have me on the news today.
Yeah.
Wow. That's heavy. Lighter note, why is your football team so bad?
Hey,
Why has it been so
if I'm being
bad
honest,
over the last couple years?
that's not a lighter note. It's like we've talked about this, just the have and the have-nots. It's like basically when they start letting the kids bus out to other schools, it's like we got 25, 35 kids on our team. We played Miller West earlier this year. They got 70 kids. They got a lineman that's 6'8". We got freshmen that shouldn't be playing football. They got to play lineman. So it's like, even that's not fair. You're talking about school pride and feeling like you a man. But when you had a deficit already, like basically the way everybody's homecoming game. They put us on the schedule for everybody's homecoming games. They can run the score up on us. Like that ain't fun to be a part of. So you
Time
try
out.
to teach them how to
My
walk in that.
perspective is,
Yeah.
he wrong. You on the winning team. Just the fact of them boys to come out. If you could come back out on the field after being
real.
72-0,
That's
I
real.
want to know the graduation.
76.
76-0. That's even more of a man because I wouldn't have made it to practice. But
Yeah.
you still
And that's
show
it.
up.
And that's
You
it.
still coaching and you still
Yeah.
man, you being a father. Man, you winning.
Yeah.
That's why I used to be mad at you.
Don't tell it.
I said, man, you supposed to be this pastor. You cheated every year. You're getting all these.
He stacked the team.
And
up. He stacked the team up.
you know what? If I coach, I want to coach a losing team because I'm tired of people putting this value on winning, and we're not teaching them how to win in life.
That's true. That's true.
real.
That feel, but that's what leads them into so many things. I know we got to wrap.
No, you were on some of the winning teams.
Hold on,
You
I
act
just
like
put a
you
post
was on
out
that team
yesterday.
that
I did a little
had-
video I posted of our Northwest football season. And what I put on the post, hey, I'm proud of these fellas for finishing a tough season. It's tough there was a game, we was down 45-0 at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah,
we got 3 more quarters of this.
It was warm
But
up.
it's like when you look at almost like you playing an all-star team and you playing the Little Giants. It's like it's not even fair. I don't even know how they get anything out of it because you ain't even really getting no competition a lot of times with the way we got stuff set up. And I talked to the athletic director. How can we turn some of this stuff around? It's getting the boys into school to buy in. When you got a losing culture,
Yeah,
like they don't want to come out. You know what I mean? And it's like when you got that stigma. I don't want to lose. Well, you could actually help turn some of this stuff around.
Yeah.
So us trying to work through that. You laughing at it? It ain't funny to me, bro. 'Cause we trying to work through
after
that.
the first quarter. It was warm up. Y'all was down.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Basically, for them fellas,
I'm joking,
for
y'all.
them fellas to finish though, like they didn't quit. It's
Yeah,
like,
that's a good point.
Like
That's a good point.
one of our schools, Benson, I think, had to cancel the rest of their season because they didn't have enough to even finish the season. The fact that them fellas showed up and they finished, it's like, man, I'm proud of them for that.
That's it. And
we
then
got a lot of work to
Yeah,
do.
on top of that, the parents not coming to the games it sends a
Yeah.
message of devaluing. But
I feel we
you're
have
right.
better this- yeah.
You rather coach the if the Cowboys keep it up, you might have a job with
Yeah,
them.
but they gonna keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, y'all got too
So
much
proud of
going
y'all,
on.
man. So proud of y'all. More to come. More topics to come. Hopefully, this has been a blessing to those that have been listening. When they say keep it real, I think
And quit being scared, man. Church is for sinners.
that's
Like for real, you don't gotta be perfect. The doors is open.
point. Yeah.
These people, all you gotta do is have an open heart. They ain't even ask you to open your pockets. But if God put it on your heart, man, God gonna put what's on your heart to be on your heart.
that's real.
You just gotta listen, bro, and be. I can't even think of the word. Just listen to him.
Love you, appreciate you. And until next week, remember, we walk by faith, not by sight.